Hi, how are you today? I hope you are well. My name is Sue. I am the owner of The Spiritual Alchemist. Welcome to my channel. Should we get a reading out? See where you're at. I use the Rider-Waite Tarot. I just love the Rider-Waite. Sometimes I'll bring in Oracle cards, or we might even bring in the charms today and pull some charms out. I've just recently got some new ones, so I haven't brought them all together yet, but I will. How's that sound? Next time, come back and we'll do it again and have another look. All right, I'm just going to get some cards out. Whoops, there we go. Most of the time the cards go onto the floor, so be aware if I have to duck off the screen for a minute, but it is what it is. My tarot is timeless tarot, so you're not stuck into a certain time, month, day, whatever it is. Coming up soon I will be doing star sign tarot, so I put something up for, you know, each star sign and help you get a little bit more guidance for where you're at. But for now, for today, let's just find some. Oh, there we go. Seven of Cups, beautiful. So emotionally, everything's a little bit up in the air. We've got quite a bit of major arcana come out as well at the moment. Okay, that'll do me. Let's put them down. Okay, I just tend to have a little look on the bottom. So we've got the Nine of Swords. Are you sleeping well, my love? I feel like potentially you're not. So if you're not sleeping well, some of the things that can cause that irritation can be the phase of the moon. Wherever we're at in the phase of the moon, I get quite bad insomnia around the full moon. Sometimes it's around the new moon, just depends. So I was born on a waxing gibbonous moon. I don't know what you were born on. If you want to know, you go into Google and just put in your date of birth and time of birth and ask what the moon phase was at that time and that location. Like, you need your location, your time of birth, your date of birth, and ask for the moon phase and it will tell you. Mine is a waxing gibbonous moon. I was born on the 2nd of January, so I'm straight in New Year baby. And so around the waxing gibbonous moon, I feel it's just when it's, you're kind of true to yourself. You came into the world on that phase of the moon, so why aren't you taking notice of what happens on that time of, the moon phase? So I just have a little awareness around when the waxing gibbonous moon is. I've got an app on my phone that I use. So yeah, have a little bit of an awareness and be really take note around a day or two either side. So it's like a 3-day period of what you're feeling, what you're sensing, what's happening in your life, if anything big is happening, because this is your true self. You came in on that phase. So I feel like, as we go through cycles of things, you come back up and this is your true self and you identify with what's happening on that day and then you go back around. It is my thought only, but I've always just had that awareness of the moon phase when I was born. Look it up, give you something different to do. Another thing I'd love you to look up is human design. Human design is pretty cool. It is, again, you're sitting a little bit like astrology, but it's different. So you put your location of your birth, your date, your time, and it gives you a category that you sit in. I think there's 5 different categories, and it will tell you your personality type, and it will make a lot of sense. There are people that do human design readings. I've never had one, but would thoroughly love to have one. I am a reflector. There's like only 2% of the world are reflectors. So for the work I do, this is really, really significant for me as a reflector, because I'm sitting reflecting what you need to see, and that helps my work immensely. So, everybody is different, and it will give you really deep in-depth understanding of who you are and how you tick. So I highly recommend doing a bit of research around human design. It is really you can go down the rabbit hole on it. I haven't done that. I mean, I could, but I haven't as yet. I just sort of stick to the basics of human design, and that sort of, it just makes you understand you better. So why not? Why not have a look at all of that stuff? All right, let's have a look at today's cards. We've got some big major arcana cards out, but we've also got quite a few cups. So emotionally feeling a little bit up in the air, emotionally feeling a little bit, I just feel like I'm lacking my content bubble. It just feels like I want to be content. I've got every reason to be content, but I feel like I'm missing something is what I want to say. And I feel like you're going around trying to fill your cup and trying to make it feel better, but there's still something not quite there that you're not quite got your handle on, or it just is missing. There's like an empty cup going, well, what about this one? What am I putting in here? So when that cup's not full, I don't feel you feel content within yourself. So it's either there are options for you, or you're sort of missing a little missing link, whatever that may be. I also want you to be aware of your energy, where you're putting your energy, where you're giving more than you're actually receiving. Are you giving more to a relationship that you're not receiving anything back? Is this an equal relationship, or am I just giving and over investing in it, and I'm not getting anything in return? Maybe that's why your cup is empty. Do I need to pull back a little bit from this relationship and give it some space to see what other options are around? It just feels very unbalanced. It could also be, giving more energy to your family members, your loved ones, your children, your husband, your wife, whatever it is, where you just feel like you're doing everything and everyone else is not. Where do you need to delegate a little bit of, I don't want to call it power, but a bit of authority, and have this equal sort of equilibrium going through the household, rather than you just picking up everything and doing everything. They're all capable of doing something. Even if they're little, they are capable of doing something to help out, or teach them how to do it. I know that there are people that are sort of unsure whether they need to caress something to make it work a bit better, or actually just step away from it. There's a big divide. Do I go in here and give it more, which I feel like you've been doing too much of, or do I come back and give it some space and just see how it unfolds? When you step back here, I feel there's a bit of fear in that what happens if it slips through my fingers? What's meant for you will find you. If this is meant to slip, let it slip, because something better is coming. Like something better that will fill that cup that is empty is going to be coming. So give it some space, and allow that cup to get filled organically from spirit, from the universe, And I also want to, I just got a very strong message. Have you been buying stuff again? I just feel like, don't look, I've just ordered something online. Again, Spirit have seen that you may be overspending a little bit, so really pull it in, rein it in, stop it. As much as you want that beautiful dress, or those pair of boots, or, that new bike, or whatever it is. It's not just women, it's guys as well, because I feel like the guys are probably worse. They buy a big ticket item, where the girls are just buying little things to fill, pretty things. It's very obvious here that it's just time to pull it back in a little bit, and be mindful of where your cash is going, because I feel like it's like, and that can come from having an empty cup. Well, if I buy this, that'll make me feel better. And it doesn't. So then I'll buy this, and then I'll buy that. And it doesn't. It is time to look in here and and pull sort of within, because that's how you're going to fill your cup. Looking after you, loving you, going into your emotional body. What am I feeling? You know, what is this energy I'm feeling? Is it sadness? Is it frustration? Is it anger? And feeling it, you know, let yourself feel. That will fill your cup, because you'll just become friends with the little girl or the little boy that lives inside you, you know, because I feel like they're yearning and calling out for you, but you're sort of trying to fill it with presents. And we don't need more presents. I know that once you connect that void and feel that void, you're just going to come up for air and you're going to be magnificent. So allow yourself to just, you know, find your balance, fill your cup, see what's missing or lacking. You know, it's not about getting to the finish line and being the winner. It's actually about, you know, how you go about getting to the finish line and how you go about standing there on the podium and being a winner. Because if you rush and be a, you know, an arrogant whatever, that's, no one likes that. But if you can just meander and take your time and go slow, you still get to the finish line, but you're actually going to get there completely content within yourself and completely, I don't know, just completely at ease with who you are. Your cup will be filled. So just be mindful of where you're giving more than you're receiving at this present time. I know there's a lot of you here that are going through a little bit of a spiritual shift, spiritual awakening. I would say a lot of personal growth, a lot of spiritual growth is happening. It is a very beautiful, fertile time for that growth to happen. Again, fill your cup, do what's right for you, bring it into you, because by doing that, you just connect this way spiritually. It's a beautiful combination. People don't realize, you know, I want my third eye open more, I want to be more connected, but it all comes from here. You connect here, this will just open up. Talk to spirit as well, you know, talk to the universe, talk to whoever it is you believe in, God, divine, you know, everybody's different. It's the same thing up there, but everyone has a different name for it. So, you know, really talk up there and be open to whatever needs to come. I just know that, you know, there are quite a collective of people that have been through a very, very hard time, a very trying time, a very, I want to say heartbreaking time. It feels like a period where you've been dropped to your knees and you're trying to come up for air, and it feels, I just hear the why. Why is this happening? Why? You know, I can't give you an answer to that, but I do know that you're spiritually evolving, and that can be quite brutal. You know, it's peeling a layer off you that you didn't even realize you needed to peel off. So it can be very, very raw, very real. So if you're going through that, it has a purpose. You're about to blossom. You're about to become something really beautiful. You're about to understand why you had to go through what you had to go through, because at the time of doing it, it's not going to make sense, but you will get to understand why everything sort of has happened, and you're going to come out the other side of it a completely different person. The head and the heart will be completely aligned. There'll be no overthinking on the hamster wheel, remunerating about what happened. It will just be a peaceful calm. It's actually, the energy is nice that's coming forward. I'm just going to get some charms out and see what we got in here. I just sort of dig in and find whatever comes out. So we have the letter D for dog. It's only little, but so if your name starts with D, or you live in a street that starts with the letter D, or if your family members are D, or your dog is started with a D, really listen up, because it's time to pay attention. We have the cat. Gorgeous little cat there. Let me put it there. Cat is your intuition, trusting your intuition, your sixth sense, trusting that, learning to trust it, especially spiritually, potentially everything you've been through in that darker moment, that hard moment, has been because, to strengthen your intuition or to change your intuition. We have the cross as well. The cross, it can be religious, do however you want it to be. For me, a cross is about faith. It's my faith, my personal faith. You can wear a cross around your neck. It is not because I'm a religious person. It is because I have a faith and a belief in myself. I back myself. I am my faith. And I will do whatever it takes for me, and I trust and know that I will be okay. So, crosses don't have to just be a religious symbol. We have a little star. It's sort of like the bright star in the sky. It could be the star of Venus, or, in the sky it's the brightest planet, but it looks like a star. So it could be just unconditional love. When I look at that, though, I just feel it's allowing yourself to shine rather than dimming your own light. Allow yourself to step in, step out, and see how you go from there. Sorry, my cat was just crying and I couldn't work out what was going on, but we're all good. This one, the tree of life, tree of knowledge, tree of everything, it's learning. It's just, knowing that we're the eternal students of life, aren't we? Like we're always learning. We're always got something every day. You should learn something every day, whether it just be a little tiny thing. I try and look, for things to learn, especially when I'm reading. I learn something new every day with tarot, but just, I learn about me as well. A little swirl. Little swirly swirl. This is cute. Go with the flow. Just flow. Don't sort it out. Just keep it in check. Go with the flow. Allow, whatever needs to happen, and try not to dictate what it is. We have a horseshoe. I'm going to hold it up. Little horseshoe. Can you see that? Beautiful. I don't want to put it the other way up because I don't want all the luck to fall out the horseshoe. So, it shows me that there is a lot of luck for you at the moment, and that it's just good fortune. I have a horseshoe on the wall of my house. It's in the carport where you just walk into the back, into the kitchen sort of area from the carport. But yeah, horseshoe. If you ever see one, get it, put it up at your home, put it upright so it doesn't, or the luck doesn't drop out. Even in our last house, I had a horseshoe that was at the front door. It's just a lucky symbol. The last one is a little foot. It's a little bit hard to see. Little foot. So this shows me you're about to walk on uncharted territory, going somewhere new, making bold footsteps forward that you wouldn't have made before, which is really cool. Yeah. Maybe it's also a little bit about taking off your shoes and walking barefoot around, feet on the earth, so that you can just feel connected, stay grounded within everything. The crescent moon kind of goes back to us talking about your moon phase, when you were born on the moon phase. That kind of just confirms for me that it is intuition and revealing of what you need to see. But I just feel like allow yourself to, find out who you are. How you tick. It's pretty cool. Last one. This is a broom. Sweep all the crap out of your house. Sweep it out. Don't mind me. Sweep all the debris. Sweep all the outdated stuff. Declutter. Get rid of some of the stuff that you are holding on to or hoarding or whatever it is, and bring some freshness back in. you know, bring a breath of fresh air back in. This little church just jumped at me while I was there as well. So, you know, you might have, again, faith. It might be just your personal faith, and to really, you know, people that go to church have a devotion to church. And there's nothing wrong with that. So why not devote yourself to you? You know, have your faith, devote yourself, devote your time, your energy, everything inward rather than projecting outward. And then, yeah, see how you go. But it could also be that there may be news of an engagement or a marriage that's coming up shortly for you as well, within your family, friends, work, wherever. But very much confirming, you know, believe in yourself. Allow yourself to shine. Allow yourself to, you know, sit bigger than normal. Okay? All right, my loves, I'm going to leave you there. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.